I'm so excited. We're going to see some Trident rushes tonight, boys, and you guys might actually see one out of me. I'm so excited for this. Look at that Trident. That is a Kraken on top of that stick, sir. Look how beautiful that thing is. I'm so excited for this matchup, Arma.
That's just Aquaman showing how powerful Aquaman is. Downplayed a lot. I feel like in the real world, people don't realize how strong Aquaman is. Keep in mind that if Superman fights Aquaman anywhere near the water, Aquaman wins.
Full screen. Okay, oh my goodness. Neither player wants to do a single thing. And this is an interesting matchup. And we talked about, the matchup going back to the Injustice 1 days and how it's kind of progressed over the years as that back two hits from full screen. One thing that they added to this game, to the meta in this particular matchup, is that Batman can finally, if he goes for restands, he can actually still do damage to Aquaman, say even on block. You'll see a lot of Batman players, if they utilize the Water of Life, they'll meter burn cancel, get that damage on hit. I see a lot of Batman players be able to make adjustments to that in this particular matchup in Injustice 2, and I can't wait to see if NubCakes brings something to the table here. As he has got this man in corner position and an easy hit confirm and a grapple, and now he's going to get some damage.
Yeah, he's got him in the corner. NubCakes just looking for that final last hit there. And, Aquaman not really showing too much in the department of keeping reserve and keeping cool. Hold on, giving him a push, tossing him in the corner. This could be bad news. Oh, what? That was a beautiful read. He just did not execute it perfectly. NubCakes squeezes out of there.
And now as long as that trade bat is up, I mean, this is going to take away the neutral of Aquaman. Got to hold that. Okay, now Goodbye take his turn. Oh, gets over to buy the stagger, and we're back into the mix of things. And unfortunately, this is where Underwater has found himself the entire matchup in the forward three, coming in from downtown.
This is not a good look here for Underwater. It's like this game is just a little too far gone. No reason to really focus on this, but hold on. Showing a little bit of execution here, converting down to great bait, but again, not perfectly executed here. You can't leave damage on the table, especially against such a great player like.
And I love how slow they're actually playing the matchup, and he went for the punish that Batman does possess on that from the deep, just outside of range of it. And finally, Underwater going to get a little bit of something on the board. Does have, does have resources to get back in the match, but the fact that they're even on meter is a death sentence here, even if a wager does occur.
Yeah, if a wager does happen, NubCakes can you eventually inflict damage. Goes for the bounce cancel to hold on to the meter. Figures he's got so much life that in the event that he does get, he will just build it back. And this is looking like curtains here for Underwater. Not really sure what he's going to be doing through this swarm of batarangs as NubCakes just builds a little bit more bar with each single every batarang that he throws. Meter burns it right when he was in range. Those batarangs cannot meter burn from full speed. So NubCakes recognized that, got close enough, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, and you know what? You hate to see someone go out on full resources. He had full bar. He had wager, but was in a position where it was. I mean, the damage was already done, and it was too little, too late. And NubCakes didn't come off the resources to even get to that position. So even if wager would have occurred, would have been able to meet him and just continue the pressure, keep it on. As here in game number 2, we're gonna see something a little bit different out of Underwater. He needs to stay away from that corner.
Yeah, definitely needs to stay away out of the corner. And I think he just. I feel like NubCakes had read on him out the gate. He said, you know what, we're playing the game real slowly. I think this Aquaman might be a little too scared to press buttons, but you can't. When you have a character with such great normals, you cannot be afraid to press buttons, and there we go, the down 2 challenging right there against NubCakes, and the whiff punish of that down 1. We know NubCakes loves checking people with it. Water Life into play, good move there.
Oh my goodness, and you actually saw NubCakes go for that forward 3 while Water Life was out to go for the damage, but I've seen some beautiful stuff out of Underwater. If you noticed, he was blocking the mechanical bats and immediately swung. There is no block stun on those bad boys. They just have a buttload of hit stun, but really good recognition by Underwater not to fall down as early as he did in the last game, and he's actually made a couple of good reads.
NubCakes trying to close the gap between himself and his opponent. The slide here. Water Life in check now. Every time a Aquaman player goes into the Water of Life, he does not want to block because he's going to be taking full damage instead of block damage.
Exactly.
So NubCakes needs to kind of catch up on that. Try to just implement that. Know that he's going to be challenging with either a down 1 or a down 2. Aquaman's 2 quickest normals. Here we go. The throw not going to be enough. How is he going to seal the deal here on that first life bar?
Oh my goodness, I love that he's swinging that forward too. He actually, if you notice, NubCakes is actually respecting and not really doing a reversal after block forward too. You'll see a lot of Aquaman players get away with a nice sneaky little down one there. Pierce of Underwater is going to attempt that. And Water Life out. He's also been swinging when activating the Water of Life because, like you said, he does not want to block. He's getting away with a lot of down ones as well. Back two's in the neutral, and the balls of Atlantis are at play right now. Those trench eggs do some damage.
Oh, and look at the read there. Cuts the combo short because he doesn't want.
Oh!
About it in the back too. Into the bounce cancel, sending him right through the transition and tying up the set 1-1.
The Aquaman, any Aquaman player's go-to finisher, back to meter burn cancel. Pays off for Underwater here, sends him through Atlantis. Mind you, Aquaman has home field advantage right now.
Is it home field advantage? I mean, those interactables in the corner are so good for gadget characters. And you know, I feel like every time, and now because this is a an online tournament, there is no option to stay on here. You have to go back into the character select screen every single time. And it looks like we're going to be going to the Fortress of Solitude. Now, everybody's favorite corner. That's everybody's favorite corner if you want a gadget character. Does exist here. The corner that doesn't really act like a corner, a great interactable available to Batman here on the left corner. Getting out, I don't want to say for free, but almost for free. But look at that quick check of the load here. Underwater, feeling himself now, hitting the overhead.
Oh, he is committing this background bounce. He's going to go for some damage, but drops the jump three. That was crucial and a dangerous spot even to throw that from the deep. I think Underwater is just going to start playing a little bit more savage right now.
I mean, you have to do it. When you're in a setting like this, in an online pub, that not everything is going to be... Not every player is going to react to everything you throw at him. And he's finally finding his groove here. NubCakes in a really bad position to get a hold of the driver's seat here. Goes to the side of the water shield. Doing it here for Underwater.
Probably one of the most underrated, underutilized normal specials that Aquaman does possess. It's really the wake up. If you have the bar on hit, we'll build the space. It's like on hit, yeah, we'll build the space on block. It's actually plus. It's not something that Aquaman does use too often.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Definitely perfectly timed, and look at that awareness by NubCakes, knowing where he is at all times, goes to the water life, and it just wasn't enough there. NubCakes perfectly timing that throw, making sure that down one or down two that Aquaman was trying to test out didn't make it out. Well, can we talk about that conversion?
Beautiful stuff by NubCakes, and you know what? Never think that this man's out of a match. NubCakes actually some beautiful comes back with his character, but the jump's getting a little too predictable here from the deeps. And this conversion adds so much damage, and that's gonna be the kill. 2-1 now for Underwater.
He just didn't get a chance. He didn't get a chance.
He took a full bar of health, I think, was from the deeps alone. And EX from the deep now that they took away the launcher, they added damage to it, and those bad boys hurt. Those tentacles, you do not want to get caught in them.
They do hurt. They are unclashable, and that's what I was basically screaming about. That NubCakes just did not get a chance to clash anything. A combo never really happened, and for the most part, this game just followed the rule that a meter burn part of your special move is not clashable. And there was really nothing NubCakes could have done there. Yep. It was kind of like Underwater was just in his head. He knew exactly, like, you're gonna move now, you're gonna move now, you're gonna move now, and that from the deep, it tracks your opponent no matter where they are. I'm sorry, the tentacles right here, just as one player. NubCakes hitting the first hit. And again, looking a lot like the first game again, where NubCakes just...
Oh, that was beautifully spaced. Got the trigger off the back 1-2 and knew he had the confirmation of the background bounce, forcing NubCakes off the resources with the early air escape. And now we're back to full screen, going for the China toss, and even that gets punished.
Now I do love Underwater's use of the Water of Life character power in this, I guess, a specific matchup. He knows when to use it. He knows, how to challenge during it.
And as long as he has the bar, he can let Batman approach, even with the mechanical bats. Nothing's going to absorb it. And again, hit or block, there's actually no downside to me burning that water life. Or you just cancel it, backdash out, what a down one into the background bounce. This is some big point damage here. And he's going for it all. 470. That's the power of Atlantis.
The power of Atlantis and one bar here by Underwater. Again, looking to check NubCakes. Underwater not really fully understanding how to use characters. and then he knows how to dance around Batman's character power. Hold on, the parry here. Looking for him to get forward, and look at the composure, the patience by NubCakes. He says, no, I'm not moving. I'm not moving. You have to cancel, or you have to dash forward or back.
What was beautiful is that I think NubCakes knows. He's played enough Aquaman players to know. We only hold that water shield for so long before dancing it. Like, there's a certain time where, like, it's like 1, 2, 3, and then we're dashing forward and backwards out of it. Yeah. We don't hold it the full length.
Oh, checking him, advancing forward walk there with the character. We're going to the move, we're going to the lobby, and we're going all the way up to the balcony here. And the whiff punish, whiffing right in front of him. Oh, and damage on the table here. Aquaman's not gonna like that looking back, and he doesn't close this out.
Oh, beautiful punishment. The meter burn whiffing though, very odd on that slide punish. And very good. There's the meter burn. Recognizing he's gonna come off that water of life, and now NubCakes making the galactic level reads here needed to stay alive in this match.
Don't like that trade at all for Aquaman. To make something happen here. The trade, kind of his ability to get his way in, to kind of just throw something active and let Batman dash up, throw him like he did. Still has an opportunity here, but maybe not after. NubCakes can't. Oh. And it was just enough to snatch him out of the air here. Flying it up, showing him that I am not going to put down it. I don't care what the matchup number is. You're my opponent, and I have to get through you.
First match of the tournament on stream, and it's going to go to a game number 5. It doesn't get any better than this, guys. Injustice 2 at its finest. We've got 2 of the most iconic characters in the game's history, and very good display of the matchup so far. We got Underwater NubCakes, game number 5. And this
Fighters
is to,
approaching
advance
Gotham
into
City.
the 3rd round of their bracket. I'll just take a look on that while we're in the middle of the match here. But, I mean, this is anyone's game right now. I mean,
it is. It definitely is. Game
there have
5,
been
the momentum's been shifting rapidly back and forth here.
Beautiful way to start the round there by Underwater, recognizing that NubCakes going that jump too. And it's really good if you guys are able to practice it at home to react to jump-ins from actual forward dashes, and then you get a trip guard. Even if it doesn't trip guard on the other side, it's hard for them to reverse their block that fast. So it's really good for them to jump under and check the other way around.
Yeah, definitely something you want to utilize that, especially against characters. Through. Oh, getting the other side, the water flood. Or the background bounces. So much for Aquaman here in this set.
He's got a lot of damage, and a lot of raw forward threes are working out for NubCakes as well, even going back to the very first game of the set. And another meter burn one here. And he's actually, I think, on top of Underwater's tendencies here. A lot of down ones about his swing, even when it might not necessarily be his turn. And NubCakes is really starting to turn up the heat, and he is now 1 health bar away from advancing on the winner's side.
You gotta watch out for that top card there, the interactable. Utilize the Aquaman giant hitboxes just slam on those. But looks like NubCakes wants to take it out of the picture, backing off, not really utilizing the corner so much. Getting that backdash chase down with a back to Aquaman with overhead.
Ooh, trying to meter burn roll in it. That was dangerous because NubCakes had that mechanical bat loaded. He could just let that thing rip on reaction to anything. And that actually might be a hit stun. No, he comes in and uses that for the grab instead. Now NubCakes pressure is on in the corner. No, he's gonna, instead of going in, tries to face this man out, goes to battering. No, comes in here, doesn't fire. I'm gonna try to rush. Ah! The old school stuff.
Old school stuff, we all love it. Jumping over the other side, doesn't press a button. And here we go, the reversal punish here, going to the water of life, letting Aquaman take so much damage, even for moves that he can block. This is not so good.
The 3 on that string did so much damage. But back on 1-2 there by Batman, doing so much damage at the end during his little water of life. And nice and beautiful punish with the 4-2 by NubCakes. And he's just inching ever so closer to taking this match, but underwater. We can't keep him out, or we can't count him out here if he's able to take the first bar of health. And we all know the Aquaman damage.
We all know the Aquaman damage here, but NubCakes life bar here to really go with trade. He doesn't mind taking those chemical strikes. He doesn't mind going into range and blocking and punishing perfectly. NubCakes in complete control here, forces the clash.
Atlantean, don't be so sure.
If you're NubCakes, you come up both bars, you only give this man 15%, and he does.
Smart move. Definitely a smart move there by NubCakes, not giving him any more breathing room possible.
NubCakes still having a wager. This is a Mount Olympus climb for Underwater to try to take this set, but man, it has been a beautiful one. Game 5 to start us out, guys. I'm so excited. And beautiful anti-air with the mechanical bat and NubCakes coming back from the deficit of 1-2, taking the set 3-2.
You know, I honestly think that, you know, I felt like in that moment, and this is just me watching this action unfold, in that moment when NubCakes went down 2-1, those two games are so decisive. There's no way he didn't just feel like, wow, I just got downloaded. And that's a feeling that's so hard to shake, so hard to get over and get past as a competitor. And NubCakes just displayed it perfectly. He said, you know what? All I need to do is adjust. All I need to do is go back to what I was doing before and, you know, really utilizing everything I know about this matchup. And, you know, huge shout outs to NubCakes. That's a hard thing to do. Especially
after that third game where, you know, I think that was definitely a learning experience for NubCakes, and I think that he learned a lot about Underwater in his playstyle because Underwater started getting, I don't want to say a little bit careless, but he started swinging.
He did.
And I think NubCakes started to recognize that, and he took the L, went into the fourth game, and was like, you know what, I'm on to you. And we saw him blow up a lot of down one attempts and Water of Life attempts, and then NubCakes just kept the pressure on because he would. You saw in game 2 and 3, I saw NubCakes stagger a lot when Water of Life was activated. He would try to summon bats. He would try to stagger a stand 1 or something, and he'd get down 1 for it and lose all kinds of momentum and damage.
Yeah.
But in game 4 and 5, he just committed, and here we go.
I mean, that's what you have to do, really, when the Water of Life. Now, you know, it's just a little explanation about the has water just pouring down his whole body. That's him activating his trait. As long as his on the ground, he will get out of a combo. However, there is pretty bad side effect to that. He will get out of a combo. He will be able to swing or block, but instead of taking normal chip damage for any moves that he blocks, instead he takes the full hit damage. So, you know, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. You really need to know how to use it in specific matchups. And I feel like Underwater knew that, but NubCakes was able to adapt around it. Like, wow, you know, he's using it in very weird spots here. You know, he's challenging me afterward, you know, where he should be. Let me make the adjustment. Let me figure this out and let me conquer this opponent. And that's what he did.
Really good adjustments, and NubCakes been here, done that. He's going to move on the winner's side, and we got our next match set. It's going to be another doozy. Rewind going up against SoundsLikePause. And this is going to be a battle of you know, SoundsLikePause has been around for a while, doesn't travel too much offline, but online we know him as an absolute force. And Rewind, just a new, young, and up-and-comer that is just at an insane level for his age, practices with the best, plays with the best, and uses every single person on the character select screen, so I have no idea who he's going to pick in this match. And SoundsLikePause is going to be coming in here with that patented green arrow play, and he does have a Leonardo in the back that you never know if he's going to break out.
He does have a Leo, you know, the Turtles being the newest addition to the DLC here for Injustice 2. Not only did we get one character within the Ninja Turtles, but we had 4 different variations, very different play styles from each Ninja Turtle. And, you know, Leonardo, I feel like, was the one that a lot of people wanted to go with. You know, a lot of great jumping normals. And you know, he's got a very Trident Rush similar move with the sword slashes. You can meter burn him, make him safe, and make sure they do a lot of chip damage. So I'm not sure who's go for it.
I was gonna say, he also has, of the Turtles, probably the best mids and advancing mids, like actual range on his normals. In comparison to the rest of the Turtles, but also has the traits, which they all have their place, and they almost like they recycle each other on hit. If Donatello comes and gets a hit, I mean, at the end of it, he's gonna have both Raph and Michelangelo. Like that character is really well designed and very fluid in comparison to, I think, some of the other Turtles. That, you know, you look at Donatello, he's a little bit slower, long range, kind of a trap setup character in of a sense, but also heavy mix up and big damage. And you've got Raphael, who's, you know, not seen very often, but before, you know, I go off on a tangent about the Turtles. I'm noticing that Rewind is going back to his day 1 character of Injustice 2, and that's Atrocitus. I haven't seen this character out of this man in ages.
Now, Rewind is a very methodical, like you said before, you know, but if Rewind has a strong character that fits problem matchup for his opponent. You know he's going to be going for it. His second character, his third character, his fourth character will put so much confidence in them just to take advantage of the bad matchup.
And he has no fear of picking a character or a matchup that we might have never seen before, and he just has belief in outplaying his opponent, and that's what we're seeing right now. Raw puddle, and you know what? That actually covers both Wakeups. If he delays it just a little bit, that's gonna cover the invincible frames of both the Stinger and the Savage Blast. That actually might be really smart that Rewind trying to pull off right there. And I love watching him like showcase things about matchups and kind of learning them on the fly.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely something that's going to be in various different Wakeups. You don't know if he's going to spin his boat towards you. A lot of mix up there.
When's the last time you brushed?
I'll floss with your sinew.
Woo! Come down and Josh. This man is full of rage. Another raw pumpkin. He's had no fear of those. With the health lead, there's really nothing to lose in general. You get right there, you might be eating an arrow or a stinger from full screen. That's about it. He goes to the corner. We go. Sounds like Pause might go take a bar if he gets a hit.
Something else. And what a whip punish there! The down two, making sure there was nothing else Rewind could have done in that situation.
I can't believe that the meter burn portion of that stinger didn't work out there in the corner. That would have been the kill. But yeah, lucky that Rewind got with Savage Blast up with punch block. He was able to get the down two, and now coming in with Dexstar at his back. Keeps him freestanding and going for the old school mix right there. 4-2-2 into the low. The string does naturally end in an overhead. You guys are trying to keep track at home. Damage over time. And that's going to be it. Perfectly spaced. Rewind loved backdashing there in the corner and looking for something to whiff punish or even check. And you saw it, go for down one, he would backdash, look for anything, and then back to it, check. Very smart stuff. Very good use of everything Atrocitus has.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. And, Green Arrow just kind of never really found his footing there. And, I feel like Sounds Like Pause is having a bit of trouble just kind of dealing with the initial core mix-up that is. Now, that Atrocitus string normally ends with an overhead on the third and fourth hit, but for either one, instead of going for either of those two overheads at the end, Atrocitus can cancel into his low, which is very, very punishable. But I think rolling the dice against a character like Green is really a good idea. He really, even when he's got bar, he can't do too much damage. So Rewind does not mind taking that risk. He knows it's going to pay off for him.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I would think that on paper, wanted to try to zone this thing out as much as possible, and then just worry about Dexstar when it occurs. But you haven't seen that. It sounds like Pause. Beautiful down one check right there, by the way. But Rewind is really been kind of hectic. He's been doing a lot of raw puddles that have been working out. It's keeping Sounds Like Pause at bay, and that may have been a reactionary anti-air from full screen. He has been no good.
That is Rewind. I wouldn't put it past him here. Looking for Sounds Like Pause's Wake Up. Rewind just looking for that last hit for that gray house bar, trying to take this commanding. I got something here. Blocks the low, fake overhead. Find all with the. But here we go. A down two punish, not too much in the damage department, but will give him the momentum he's looking for.
And then the reaction. Rewind, one of the best in this scene at reacting to whiff normals, whiff to anything, whiff movement, and he is so good at whiff punishing. As you just saw there, the interrupt of the attempt to advance by Sounds Like Pause. It's patented Rewind play right now.
Oh, looking for the whip punish there, and
ooh!
What a conversion, the big body conversion here. That ice arrow freezing him right. Not a great trade here for Sounds Like Pause, but he's closing in on trying to climb Mount Olympus here. And Rewind's not a very easy player to make a comeback. It doesn't matter what character he's playing. Look at all this bar he's got to work with, full meter, but hold on, the wake up. He figured there's no way he can block this. The chip is enough to kill. Great play by Sounds Like Pause.
So I've noticed that full screen actually is not in Green Arrow's favor whatsoever because he cannot punish that blood puddle. You saw him try with the fire arrow a few moments ago. So he actually has to get in space where it possibly could, but then you're in 4-2 range of Atrocitus. So I can definitely see why Rewind's going for the Atrocitus here.
Yeah, I mean, just throw out those puddles if you really think he's gonna Savage Blast. Go for the read, and this is a bad flash here. It sounds like
Do
Pause.
not ridicule me again.
4 to 3 bars. Is he gonna spend it? Yes, he is. He's
Blood siphons out.
100%.
Just in case he gets close. Does catch him with the low there. Fire arrow loads up 2 more. Down to 1. Put down that gator.
Could have been a harder punish there, but sounds like Paul like he just had a little trigger happy there. Fire arrow, he could. What a challenge here. Goes for the unclashable. Puddle.
Alright, all of a sudden, a little bit of life here for SoundsLikePause. Blood siphons up. Cannot get close to Atrocitus right now. The meter purple, that was so clutch by Rewind. He had the blood siphon up. All you had to do was build a space, and the damage over time that was surrounding this man would have done the job.
Wasn't enough. It wasn't enough, and it was a great backup plan by Rewind. And another tool, a special move, either downplayed or maybe just not talked about when it comes to the arsenal that is Atrocitus. Using that special move, ensures that even if you get comboed, like you mentioned before, you're still going to be taking damage little by little as long as you're anywhere near Atrocitus.
Absolutely. SoundsLikePause going to stick with the matchup. I'm not going to go with the auto here, even though it looks like the game plan that Rewind's come into this matchup with has been effective so far. SoundsLikePause almost brought that thing all the way back, but just another fantastic read by Rewind at the end to potentially put another nail in the coffin here for SoundsLikePause.
This is not a good look here. We're looking like we're going to here. But out the gate, doesn't matter. It's do or die here for passive like you have in the first game. You gotta change it up, and you gotta make Rewind really suffer for those crazy moves. There we go.
This is a lot. Other than getting hit by the blood pearl, this is a lot better start for SoundsLikePause. He's already survived an entire cycle of deck start. He's gotten the damage and the health lead on Rewind. And this has not been the story of games 1 and 2, where he's had to fight from behind. Rewind going for a big read there. Rewind's so good at capitalizing on the anti-air bombs as well. Very good execution on this young man. In the corner we go. Dextar's already back out. Some big damage into a restand.
Combo is not easy to do. And here, Dextar, what are you gonna do? You're gonna get caught in the here. It sounds like Pause is looking for a jump, looking for the anti-air. Air escape perfectly timed here. Atrocitus is forward 3, does have a lot of recovery, but it doesn't matter here. Rewind off to a great start, getting rid of that first great
Oh, speaking of whip punishing, that was beautiful by SoundsLikePause. Unfortunately, didn't get the kill. Even plus flames, plus range even. Oh my god.
River's not empty.
SoundsLikePause actually should not have checked right there. On paper, Atrocitus' EX punch build is plus on block. That is a scary situation to be in, and you got the reverse vicious spinner. Able to close out that first bar belt, but you see her out here in the corner. Without Dextar, a lot of backdashing, and then checking without a force move back. This time, Bobby got to go for it, try to play up close game, getting burned for it.
Checking his feet here as the slide from Green Arrow. Get a little damage on the board here. I would say as a slight advantage here, but Dextar is out here to tell a different story.
Chip damage in there, and I'm not too sure if that was a great choice by SoundsLikePause there. He could have used the negative frames on the whip blood tornado there, and he could have gotten one there. He could have gotten not full combo punishes there. He probably could have, but utilize that negativity to build a space, maybe throw a mix-up rather than just take the arrow damage this late in the game.
He's got to make something happen here. Dextar. Puddle's going to be buried. Uses the down arrow to mess.
Oh my goodness! Dextar sniping this man out of the sky, and it was the first time he had utilized that particular
Atrocitus wins.
of Dextar, and he literally said, "Go get him." And Dextar went and took SoundsLikePause out of the winner's side of the bracket and put him in the losers. That was gorgeous.
That shows you how much Rewind understands. He knew that he was going to go for that interaction. He knew he was going to dive right. And he knew that the Deckstar was the perfect way to counter it. Did that almost, I swear, for a second, that last moment felt like a brutality. I felt like
a little bit.
I was just like, is Dextar going to rip his face off? Like, well, what's going to happen here?
Hey, y'all, if y'all don't know, that's a mean little kitty. All right, that's not a good kitty. Off stream, we did have Raven FGC 3-2 over Illusions. and Raven is going to move on to play NubCakes on the winner's side of the bracket. Wow, Illusion's going
that's
losers
an upset.
fairly early. Yeah, that is an upset.
That is
Upset
an
alert.
Upset alert. Upset alert. Huge one here. And I guess hey, there's the PlayStation. Hopefully one of them did capture. I don't think it's going to be Illusions, but I would love to see that match, see what it came down to.
There were four different characters used in that matchup I'm seeing on Smash.gg. So there was a lot of it looked like it was a counterpick war from start to end.
It
And
could
looks like we're waiting on Wakeups versus King Gambler. Winner of that's going to go on to face Scar on stream next. I'm so excited for that one too. I'm so excited to see Scar in general. Hope he's using that Brainiac, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's Supergirl. I'm going to go into the brackets right now, and I'm going to take a look myself.
I would say with the way the game is now, I feel Scar isn't putting a lot more chips on Brainiac. Putting a lot more time in there. His mobility is crazy. The mix-up game when it comes to the dive kick, is he going to meter burn it? Is he not going to meter burn it? Is it going to go high enough where I can punish the gap? Is it going to go too low where I just got to hold that? It's Scar utilizes that very, very well. Always knows where he is. Very few input errors, like a lot of Brainiacs do get.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm always hyped to see it. Always hyped to see that Brainiac from Scar.
He has been using Supergirl the whole tournament so far, and he actually beat a Brainiac in the last round to get here. I'm going to give you guys some updates on the bracket. Scar over Titanium Tigers 3-0 to get to where Scar is right now. Scar awaiting Wakeups and King Gambler. Wakeups 3-0 over Dab to get there. And King Gambler 3-1 over Too Easy to get into that match as well. So Wakeups 3-0 over Dab in a very convincing win. That's a good one on paper. Dab very strong.
That's an upset alert? That's definitely an upset alert.
Really good stuff there. That's from Pool A1 if you guys are following along on Smash. I'm going to go to 2. Deoxys is sitting in winners finals for top 8. He beat Revit Leafing 3-0. And Revit Leafing the match before 3-2 over Krusty. Krusty, really good Harley Quinn player. That was a really close one. Cheetah, I could definitely see struggling, but Revit pulled it out. NubCakes is going to be playing Raven FGC with the win over Illusions, and that's bracket A2. The winner of NubCakes and Raven is going to go on to face Deoxys for top 8.
And let's get into A3 again. If you guys want the 2018 Injustice 2 Pro Series Online Northwest. So in that bracket, we just saw Rewind taking it over Sounds Like Pause in a very convincing fashion. And on the other side of that bracket, Rewind is going to be facing the winner of Theo and Han Rashid.
That's going to be a good match. Theo versus Han Rashid. That's a battle of two of California's finest right there.
Definitely. I feel like I haven't gotten a dose of Theo. Long away from Theo that I've been looking for.
And the round before, Han Rashid 3-2 over Basics, who's been having a great run in online events recently. Han Rashid 3-2 in that. I see Green Arrow from Han Rashid, normally known for his Robin play. I wonder who's going to use against Theo. I mean, you never know. Let's take a look at what's going on in the final pool here. A number 4.
A4, yeah, pretty much like I would say business as usual. I'm looking for upsets. So the winner of one of these DQ'd matches, White Boy moving on over Sly 3-0, convincing manner. And I feel like this pool hasn't really progressed too much. Young Monster 3, low main, and waiting winner semis of that.
Yeah, he's actually waiting on the winner of White Boy and Blue Aurora Hippo. One of the better gamer tags in our scene. Blue Aurora Hippo. And on the top side, we got Jelly Fam 3-2 over Chico in round number 1. He's going to advance to play M2S Blackout. One of the few Aaron Black players at the end of MKX's lifespan. And I believe he came into the scene with MKX. So really glad to see him continue to play in the NRS scene here in Injustice 2. Shout outs to you. We got Soldier Alec versus Patient Impulse. Winner of that's going to face Ominous, who I believe is top seed in this pool with White Boy on opposite sides. Ominous coming in here. Another big name from Texas. White Boy too. Again, I said a lot of Texas guys showing up on the west side of the Injustice Pro Series online event, and they're doing good so far.
Is this the Texas pool here? White Boy used to be living in Austin, and trying to help the scene out there. I know doing a lot of things offline. White Boy not really like he was last year, but it's really hard. Premier event victory. I feel like that's a tall order for anyone.
Yeah, he actually, while he was a Floridian, won CEO to keep it in house, and CEO remains in Florida with the Samij win this year. But yeah, he is now officially a Texas boy. You've also got Scar, Deoxys, King Gambler, Ominous, White Boy. There are just so many.
Yeah,
Oh, Texas. But Texas, to be fair, is the size of a country.
it's a pretty big. Yeah, it's the size of like a.
I drive here in Texas for 12 hours, and I'm still in Texas.
Do we have a saying for Texas? Like we have, KP saying Florida. That's
I don't know.
homework for you. You think about it and you give it back to him. I'm gonna leave that on you. You are now, you just moved there, not even, and you are now in charge of Texas. So everyone in Texas, please report to Mr. Aquaman, and he'll tell you what to do. He'll tell you what to do. Still waiting for someone. I mean, we're looking for these invites.
Yep, it looks like Scar did just get his opponent. Looking at the bracket now, was that pool?
That was one of the first.
They won in Wakeups 3-2 over King Gambler. Very, very tight match. The matchup looks to be Adam versus Green Lantern in that one. Wakeups is going to be coming in here with Adam. He's been playing Adam throughout the entire bracket versus Scar right now. Just waiting on Scar to get into this King of the Hill before we get you guys the next match. And this, I believe, is for the winner's side of top 8. We're there, baby.
We're there. We're there. A lot of points. Really, like we said, want to show up to. Not really an event that you don't want to check in for, because this could make or break you. Only 12 spots, top 12 spots go on to the finals to compete for $100,000. That's a lot of money.
And here today alone, if you just make top 8, you're getting points and money.
Yeah.
The $1,000 on the line today. Paid out to everyone in top 8. First place is going to get $400. Second place, $200. Third place, $150. Fourth, $100. Fifth, $50. And then tying for 7th will get you $25. And then the points breakdown, 125 points for first. That is huge.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. Second place going to get 80. Third, 65. Fourth, 50. Tying for 5th will get you 35. And tying for 7th will get you 20 points towards the Injustice Pro Series.
I mean, hey, it's a difference maker. Look, anyone, just outside of qualifying, right now, the way the IPS points stand, the people that are tied for 13th, there's 3 people tied for 13th just outside of 12, and they're only straggling by 10 points. Only 10 points. So that shows you what this event can do. So, if this is news to you, which if you're serious, you still have the North American East if you're over there on the East Coast and east side of, this continent.
Continent, there you go.
Content.
But yeah, ample opportunity. And then we've also got, Evolution coming up. And then I think we have 2 more events after that.
After Evolution, I believe it's just SCR.
Just SCR, yeah, just SCR. And then that's going to do it. The finale will be set, and it's going to be a big showdown.
It is. It is going to be a huge showdown. Last year was the guys did such a great job with everything, and it blew me away. We had match after match, so many game 5s, and we know how much Mr. Aquaman loves his game 5s.
Oh, if there's one thing that gets me going, outside of a good Trident Rush, it's a game 5 here. As we are still waiting on Scar to join us here. We do have Wakeups in here waiting on his opponent. Scar might be Hollywooding us here, but that's perfectly fine. And this is going to be a match for top 8. I'm going to take a look at the bracket, see if there's any more updates. These matches are going by very fast. So this is winners finals of pool number 1. NubCakes still playing Raven. Winner that's going to face Deoxys. See if we have any updates here. Nope. Theo and Han Rashid still in the middle of their match. I'm going to take a look at losers finally. Loser side of the bracket. Let's start with pool number 1 while we are awaiting our next matchup here on stream. Sorry for the delay, guys. Just waiting on players at this point. Tony Jawbreaker making a nice run in losers. He's facing King Gambler in losers quarters finals. Too Easy, Dab, Reckless, and Titanium Tigers on the other side of losers. They still have not played their matches. Pool number 1. So Jawbreaker making a good run, but he's running into King Gambler, who has been having a wonderful run in online events as well. Even offline, placing well at Texas Showdown. I believe he went to CEO. I know he's at Combo Breaker and getting some solid wins there as well. King Gambler on the up, and with Green Lantern, not an easy character to make a name for yourself with and get results right now in the current meta. I think Gross might say something else there.
I think Gross is going to agree with you. Gross is
for sure. Gross definitely is not one to say that Green Lantern's really good. Love Gross to death, but yeah, it's a hard character to win with alone. But he has finally been stubborn enough to pick up a secondary, and from King Gambler, you're also going to see Dr. Fate.
Okay, Fate to control the space, Fate to just kind of lay him out your opponent. Let's look at the just done with man. No? Yes?
Oh,
You're
yes.
done with A1. Okay, A2.
Yep. A1,
So,
A2, right?
A2, Illusions, kind of doing everything the way we expected him to go. 3-0s, 3-0ing Mosif as soon as he gets into the bracket and moving on. And he's going to be facing your favorite player, Mr. Aquaman. Underwater. And that match is actually underway going, so we're not going to be getting that on stream. Hopefully one of those players, and we're all hoping for Underwater, of course, to make it over to the top 8. And on the other side of the losers bracket, Krusty doing a pretty good job, taking it 3 over Krusty Bone. And he also took it over Drew Zod. TSS Krusty over Drew Zod 3-1. And Krusty is waiting for the loser of NubCakes and Raven FGC, which is happening right now. NubCakes we just saw earlier before playing everybody's favorite character, everybody's favorite superhero, Batman.
Yes, indeed. Take a look at pool number A3.
Pull it up.
Here on the loser side, you got Basics versus Jay going on, and Flappy going up against Legend 18. Another Adam player, Flappy playing Black Adam. Flappy has he's kind of streaky. He has his moments where he looks so good, and there's moments where, it's not so hot. And I don't know if it's pressure or anything, but yeah, he definitely has his moments that he just looks like this incredible player. And I think it's going to take time for Flappy to really find his groove in these tournament settings to be consistent. And I'm really curious how he's going to do here on the loser side of the bracket. Who actually put him here on the loser side? I'm not too sure. I'm gonna scroll up a bit. It sounds like pause 3-2 down in the last moment, and we do got Scar versus Wakeups happening right now. Scar playing Supergirl the entire bracket so far, and Wakeups has been playing Adam. Let's see if that's the matchup.
Let's see, Scar maybe trying to utilize flex those Supergirl muscles. Seeing a lot of Brainiac, but I feel like that's the best way to really test if you know something within a character. But now it looks like it's all business here. The Brainiac, Dr. Fate. Now, Dr. Fate, a great zoner in this game, utilizing so many different tools to kind of keep his opponents at bay, keep your opponent frustrated, keep your opponent out. But that doesn't mean he has 0 buttons when you get close to him. If they're spaced out perfectly, Dr. Fate can hold his own, can go toe-to-toe with one of the best aggressors in this game. So let's see how Brainiac is going to utilize and get around all those zoning tools. You got to watch out for the orbs that come out. Dr. Fate can throw out those orbs, spend 1 bar meter to leave that orb right there between himself and his opponent, and it acts just like a wall that keeps you out, a wall that frustrates you over and over again. Here we go.
And not only just the zoning, but you're going to see, depending on how well it goes with the matchup, not only are his projectiles and everything that he possesses, especially if the wall, that back two is very effective against Brainiac. That actually puts up a physical wall for him to try to get through. And hiding in that orb, very smart of Wakeups to get started here.
And a perfect description of that. Thank you, Mr. Aquaman. Calling out the zoners.
I actually cannot believe that Scar had recognized that the orb was still in front, and he purposely spaced the stagger on hit to stay away from that orb, because unlike a lot of special moves, getting hit does not negate that. It doesn't take it off the screen. And the jump 3, the down 2 going absolutely nowhere for Scar. Doesn't have a lot of startup for Brainiac. It does have a big hitbox, but it's slow, and the jump 3 going to beat it out there. Good back and forth so far. Both these guys are coming out swinging. They haven't really been trying to feel each other out. They've just been going crazy, and I think that's what the matchup is on paper.
Yeah, I mean, you want to go in there, but I feel like for the most part, Dr. Fate wants to keep the control. He wants to keep the control.
some big damage. Oh my goodness! Ending with the tentacles as well. That is one of the most damaging special moves in Injustice 2 hands down.
Has to be, absolutely. In the corner, it spells it's death for anyone that's at the helm against Brainiac here. No mercy given to you by Scar.
Scar just now beginning to enforce his will. Cypher starting to get comfortable against Wakeups, and this is going to be some big hits. Okay, they won the wager. That's going to keep 50-50's coming. Oh my goodness! And usually the 50-50 is dive kicker down one. He even snuck in. I think that's a forward one. That's his little standing low, and that was absolutely disgusting by Scar, who once he took control of the match, absolutely ran away with it. And case in point of 1-0 in this matchup, as it was even in Wakeup's favor for most of that match.
It was. Wake Up was in control. He was doing a great job of just sniping Brainiac out of the air, going in with the instant jump, so that Brainiac didn't get a moment, that Scar didn't even get a moment to react. And he was converting it into great damage and a great situation afterwards. I feel like he should not stray away from Dr. Fate so soon. And I agree with this pick. Go back into it. It was fine. You were doing great. It's just Scar adjusted to you perfectly, and he got you in the corner. I feel like mentally, he broke when Scar inflicted that nearly 50% combo for Brainiac's 1 bar in the corner. So much damage.
Big damage, and then you're still in the corner against Brainiac's mix, which is quick. And he has bar damage. I mean, if you tell yourself to eat the low, you're eating hard knockdowns and picks up on top of it. If you eat an overhead, say the dive kick, you're gonna eat snap damage in the corner. And nice conversion there by Scar. Those 1-2 up-2s actually are not incredibly easy to get, especially online. So very good execution by this man, and nice recognition of him trying to come in full screen there. Wake Up, rebuilding the space. There's that back two. That thing puts up a wall, and he's throwing out another one with that orb. And now sitting behind it is Wake Ups. Those Amon-Ra blasts, they have trades activated, do so much damage in a block, and he's out. We didn't even remember that the drone was actually locked in for Scar that entire time before deciding to break it out. What, 30 seconds later?
Yeah, it was a very long hold. Bottom there, the character power bar from Scar again. You know, kind of taking control here. You know, I feel like he's in a much more comfortable spot here. But don't count Wake Ups out just yet. There it is, perfectly called out as Mr. Aquaman told everyone at home it's going to play a huge factor in this matchup. Every time Brainiac is trying to jump in, you know, he can utilize a lot of special moves in the air. He can swing over. Oh, but that's going to hurt. Great awareness by Scar, making sure the orb didn't hit him, making sure that Wake Ups didn't get any momentum that he didn't deserve.
Submit to order.
I submit to no one.
Interesting choice there by Scar. Wake Up's possibly holding on to both.
Oh my goodness. Scar has actually been able to utilize the traits to find his way in against the zoning, and not allow him to actually get, say, a back two out or even a special move out. And this has just been, because there's no other perfect word for it, control by Scar.
Yeah, no, it is. And it's you know, when they're not in the corner, I feel like, you know, Wake Ups has a lot of room to breathe with. He can feel comfortable, he can move, he can go for meter burn forward, meter burn rolls, but you know, once he gets in the corner, it is Scar's game. Scar's like, okay, now we're gonna play how I want to play. I'm gonna knock you down. I'm gonna just throw my character power after you, and it's gonna cover your Wake Ups and give me the opportunity to mix you up and start it all over again. You're gonna stay in this corner. You live in this corner, and Scar is not looking to give up any opportunity.
And the Black Manta pick from Wake Ups here. Very strong character himself, does well across the board.
Fighters
The
approaching
only thing I
Red
can
Sun
think
Prison.
that because Scar was getting away so much with a full screen drone into the tentacle jump in, and I think that he might be able to, if he reads it, could go for an instant jump one. Instant jump normals are a weakness of Brainiac's before a dive kick can become active. But once that dive kick is active, it might have the best priority in the entire game. So that's something to keep an eye on. The Black Manta is going to have a different approach to this matchup. Really good blends. And the anti-air rocket is going to... Okay, so you see why he picked Black Manta on. He's going to throw those out. That's going to stop the approach from the air. from Brainiac, he still has a really good grounded approach. If you see at this range, I wonder if Scar's going to make the read with a 4-2 down one that pull the screen low to try to counter him throwing out those rockets all really here from the screen. Oh, unable to stop that one though. And like I said, there you might want to not be afraid to take this drone on hit and still stop that rocket.
Definitely not a bad idea, but here's feeling like he's about to get okay. Checking him with down ones, checking him here with a throw. Smart knows that his opponent is a little too scared to press buttons in this very exact moment. And you know, we haven't really seen a wake up here from Manta. You know, really no opportunity given to him. But hold on, he's getting comfortable. Comes out right behind here by Scar as soon as he got the opportunity. As soon as he got the opening here, he let the drone rock out. He let him on his way out.
Back in the corner and trying to do. I'm not even too sure what he's trying to do to interrupt the gap in between Dodging and meter burn.
That was a throw. That was a throw.
It looks like a throw, and I was a two-straight. That was a little bit savage. Yeah, before even the startup, Scar is feeling himself. Everything's working out. He can do no wrong. Even the cross up there. Now that he's Scar on the other side of the actual string that he was going for. That throw back into the corner. Only a hit away, it seems.
Bro, unclashable damage here. Gonna be to take this super 3-0 over Wakeups. Brainiac versus Wakeups. Bad match. Brainiac can throw out those drones. You can really, you know, I feel like that was showed the dominance the most was Scar's understanding of getting around Dr. Fate's Wakeups. You know, throwing out those drones, making sure in the event that he does wake up, I am covered, I am fine. I'm going to show him that he cannot wake up, and then it's just Mix City after that.
Yeah, and you know, he made the pick to Black Manta and wasn't able to do, I didn't see one time him generate any pressure or get any of Black Normal's, like normals on the screen. He was just, you know, going to the matchup thinking that the anti-rocket was going to slow the match down. And it just didn't work out. Scar was able to still play at that speed, and man, oh man, that was just a doozy. Once Scar got rolling, that was unfortunately found himself on some train tracks there in the corner. did Wakeups.
I mean, Scar basically, you know, you would see, like you said before, on paper, it's a great answer, a great way to kind of stop what Scar wants to do, and that is with Brainiac, jump in the air, find your way, and mix up. But Scar just decided, okay, I'm going to play around it. I'm going to focus a little bit more on the ground, you know, and I know what this Black Manta is going to do. This isn't, and you're also going into this knowing Black Manta wasn't the first pick out the gate. So you kind of question, like, okay, how good is this Black Manta really? And again, what initiated it and screamed out, you know, I guess, inefficiency against that Black Manta was him letting a meter burn dive kick go completely unpunished, just completely missed it. And Scar's like, okay, it's party time. Like, I can do what I want to do. It's fine. And he was throwing him. He was just checking him randomly, just for nothing.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not too sure where Wakeups lives exactly, but I did see that his new home is in the corner against Scar, unfortunately. Oh man, as we're gonna get the next match out here. Let's get some invites out. It's gonna be NubCakes versus Deoxys coming up next, Darth Arma.
NubCakes versus Deoxys. Now, Deoxys, comer, you know, not as much of a like NubCakes has, but nonetheless, you cannot sleep on this guy. This Blue Beetle, the Blue Beetle specialist himself. I mean, winning Texas Showdown. Now, it wasn't a premier event, but it was a great preseason tournament. And, you know, just taking out countless and countless amounts of people. And, you know, everyone is basically turning heads all around the world. Like, wow, this is Blue Beetle. This is what the character can do. Why has no one shown me what this character can do until just now? Blue Beetle's a very heavy execution character, you know, and it's got a lot of depth. You know, not only does Blue Beetle have air cancels, air dashes, all those fun things that are really fun to execute, but, you know, he also, he kind of has like a second persona when it comes to that character power, where he can switch his shield moves into little hand sword move, and, you know, take away the zoning tools for you know, a little bit more aggressive tool. So you're going to be seeing that a lot. So always be aware of which character power, which character trait stance Deoxys is going to be rocking in Beetle. But is he highlighting? Oh, he left.
No.
This is the wrong match.
Yep.
I don't know if we have game feed yet. But
we are good to go. The matchup is just beginning right now. Deoxys versus NubCakes, and you know, to talk about the character specialist that is Deoxys ever since day number 1, and you know, all of us that played in the beta going into the very first iteration of the game, Blue Beetle was always this character that, you know, everyone went, you know, there's got to be something there.
Gotta be.
There's got to be something there, and it took a while. It took a lot of work. But Deoxys may have been the first person on the map to say, "Hey, I think I figured it out."
Fighters approaching.
It was, I want to say one of the dirtiest things that I saw from Blue Beetle. His restand ability in the corner is insane. Now, that is a game changer in this game. When you leave an opponent standing, that means they cannot use their wake up. They cannot use their invincibility frames. And NubCakes, what a savage.
This man's getting aggressive right out of the gate. Does not want to give Deoxys any room to play with. You give him some room to play with, and there's going to be mix coming. I don't care who you are, I don't know where it's going to come from, but it's a coming. This man, especially once he trades up, can do some dirt with jump 3s and jump 1s max distance. But so far, he is keeping this out of trait.
Yeah, he's just kind of keeping the this trait on, utilizing the projectiles a little bit more, and just kind of frustrate NubCakes here. Now, a great thing about this character power, this specific stance, is that wake up from Deoxys. It is safe on block. You got to make it whiff if you're looking to punish it.
And man, Deoxys just found himself in a huge health deficit because he accidentally got a stand 2 on Wake Up rather than a projectile, which would have traded with the grappling hook that he got full combo launched into. So an execution error there, actually costing Deoxys big here early on.
I love NubCakes utilizing the glitter here from Batman. I'm not sure if it builds a little bit more power than that. You know, I think it's a great move here. Something I've never seen in this matchup.
Oh,
calling it out perfectly. Now you gotta be aware, zoning may look like a mindless thing to everybody, but with every single shot, every single projectile you throw, you are taking a risk.
Oh, and there's some dirty mix-up right there. The jump in into the low stab, because he can cancel that jump in into a float into another overhead, which is what they do primarily. That's the safer option. But when they get savage and throw that low stab, can lead to gigantic damage. And look at Deoxys building all of this meter. No fear whatsoever, probably gonna throw meter at some point, but NubCakes has had insane reads on the zoning so far. He's found his way in every single time and gets punishes on every single one. And
that's what that character power does, man. It's a great...
As you following at home, this match is for top 8 on the winner's side. Points and money are going to the victor, guaranteed.
I feel like NubCakes just kind of, took a breather there. He said, let me not get frustrated, let me back up. But, going into this final round, it looks like he's in a bad spot here corner-wise. But he's got a lot of room to work with, a lot of, health to trade with. And there he goes. No problem trading there with the Batarang, and NubCakes going up 1-0. If you ask me my honest opinion before you guys start, I would say it was probably going to go towards Deoxys. However, that's not counting him out. I think he's going to make the adjustment.
Yeah, I think that Deoxys, once he gets going, he'll find a matchup. He hasn't been able to apply insane pressure. I mean, Batman is one of the best at okay, so most characters kind of have to hold certain things from Blue Beetle, a lot of float shenanigans and like that. But Batman is one of the best characters in the game, if not the best character in the game, at shutting down nonsense. Once trait's activated, it takes everything away, and the Batarang's moving him away. It's forcing Deoxys to get a little more risky, and he's been unable to find the openings.
But here we go, gets that first hit there, and the bonus takes to the air, kind of making NubCakes combo just a little bit. NubCakes finding himself in a bad spot. But Deoxys says, no, I'm shutting it down. Hold on, never mind.
Interactable out. Why not? There's almost no downside to doing it. Deoxys waiting his turn, and that's the second time that the float shenanigans have been down 2 by NubCakes. This is a guy that knows the matchup, it looks like. Get some damage here from Beetle. Back to full screen, and this has not worked out for Deoxys so far in this matchup. This full screen game, NubCakes has just been all over. Even though he's building a lot of bar, he hasn't been able to spend it and get some damage here.
I think every time character power Batman's, anytime a mechanical bat does not leave, you need to see that as a, and that's what Deoxys is looking for. He's looking for those trades. He's looking for the end result to not be Batman going for a full combo. And you know, Deoxys making the adjustment here, definitely.
And
you
you know,
in a standing position? Tell me.
As a Batman player, Arma, do you see any other Batman jump one as much as this man, NubCakes? He loves him some instant jump one.
Instant jump one is probably one of the best. It's very risky, but for almost any character, that's what you gotta do. You gotta just go for those reads. You gotta go for commitment here. And
speaking of full commitment, that's
it is.
Burn forward 3 here by NubCakes to tie us out and staggering that forward 2, which I think it is your turn to block that forward 2, maybe respecting the projectile. Thinking he's going to cancel it, he can go to shoulder bash and be safe as well. And yeah, just haven't seen Deoxys get full combos. Outside of the corner, you got the restand, and he even got literally burned for that by the Miracle as well.
There we go. Punishing here, that down.
I hope
That
this
little
isn't your
nub
best.
from Batman
It's never
can
good
get
enough,
whiff
is it?
punish if you're on point. And that was just perfect spacing here by Deoxys. Air spacing, utilizing that air dash, making it whiff. So NubCakes needs to think twice about challenging there in that specific spot.
All right, now we're back to zoning in the game, and again, I think this is where Deoxys has fallen apart a couple times, even there, thinking that Armo's going to go to, or sorry, I say Armo.
Push yourself harder.
All right.
Thinking that NubCakes is going to go to the sky because he had been jumped in on so many times against the zoning, and NubCakes says, you know what? You think you have a read on me? I'm going to slide into your DM. You can't block me.
We block the slide into the DM.
Oh,
What a read. That was a call out. That was a perfect call. With the air escape perfectly, going with a very good move. The grapple here. I'm completely impressed by the perfect call out here by NubCakes. Deoxys needs to keep his cool. That's not going to trade there in that situation. Desperately goes for that meter burn roll here. NubCakes says, no. So we're back to 3. Gonna punish you. You can hold this Batarang as it's about to explode. And NubCakes taking the lead here, 2-0. Putting Deoxys in a very tough situation here. He's got to make the comeback. 3 straight games. Does he have enough in the tank to do so?
This has been very convincing for NubCakes, and you know, I don't think it's any surprise. We know the caliber player that NubCakes is,
Absolutely.
and I think that every other top player in this scene got a little bit lucky when he decided to commit to the online portion of the first Injustice Pro series.
That's true.
He actually committed to Hometown Heroes rather than travel to a lot of the majors. But now he's doing both, and NubCakes, you know, we know him to be that caliber player, and at any given day, I think he can beat anyone in the scene. And we're looking at the caliber player that he is right now, and he is notorious for not using a loadout for Batman. He only uses basic level 1 starter gear for Batman, always and forever. He is Batman.
I mean, he's just keeping it classy. He's keeping it. I'm not a fancy guy. I don't own anything that's super expensive. I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. That's it. Great block after the sweep. Now in this.
Going for some optimal damage there, and he accidentally set himself up for something ambiguous with that neutral jump too. And another meter burn 4-3 read for NubCakes. They have been on point tonight, and just stealing the momentum from his opponents.
Cheerio after cheer. What is?
So,
that was risky.
So the match is 2-0 in NubCakes' favor. So if you're Deoxys, you think, you know, something's not working right. You think we're gonna see a stance?
I don't know, man. I thought we were gonna see it a while ago, but his intel, confident with what he knows about this matchup, and he says, "This is how I need to play it." And you know, maybe he's being a little bit too stubborn, but here we go. Mix-up after mix-up here. NubCakes tries here. Deoxys shutting it down with a Cheerio, but it doesn't really do too much. Living a little bit longer here on this great. Deciding to spend the bar.
Getting very aggressive, but clutch blocks by NubCakes, and that's going to be the first bar.
Don't waste my
Now,
time.
Deoxys on absolute life alert, 1 bar away from being sent into the loser's bracket.
I feel like one of the best attributes of NubCakes is that they punish things so, efficiently and consistently that, it's really hard for you to play the way that he wants to play right now. And that is very risky and aggressive with that special cancel into the low.
And then the neutral's been absolutely shut down here, but okay, the mechanical bat's off to the screen, about to get another one. Gets this trade. Deoxys needs a hit here, needs to take that bar, but gets beat in the air.
Not bad for a rookie, huh?
Push yourself harder.
We're gonna have a little breathing room here. Goes for scared that takes 2 bars. So he said, you know what, I'm gonna have some insurance. 3rd bar getting only 5%, which is what I think NubCakes want.
Deoxys getting that first bar. He's down on resources here. Needs some kind of miracle here. And again, just complacent with throwing these projectiles and trying to play at what I believe is NubCakes' pace. It feels like Deoxys is trying to kind of control the momentum, but it's actually been NubCakes this whole time.
Oh, here we go. We're gonna convert into this. Hitting him with a back 3 and
Better,
forcing
but not
clash.
good enough.
Focus, Jaime.
1 bar, very efficient use of the flash here.
And he even saved bar and used it immediately on the 4-3 that has connected so many times. Now Deoxys, his back is literally against the wall right now. Could have got a push on a down 2, could have been a down 1, low stab. And now we're getting crazy here, following the trade into the corner. What's Musa going to be? Excellent blocks and a little bit of an over-commitment by NubCakes, but I don't think he has any fear right now with this health lead. But we're going to the corner with Blue Beetle, baby. What's the mix-up? And again, that's actually the 2nd time that Deoxys has fallen for that.
2nd time right after the resand. Oh. Stop out there, glitter at the end.
That was so smart because Deoxys had an air escape. He threw out those so fast before he could even initiate one, it seemed. He said, instant jump to glitter. Game blouses. NubCakes is going to move in the winner side of top 8. 3-0, convincing over Deoxys, one of the hottest players in our scene right now.
It kind of seems like the momentum train that is Deoxys. He was, he was present at CEO, still falling short of that top 8, falling short, of his expectations. And not only just his expectations, but what a lot of people are expecting here. But, I feel like NubCakes just prepared, he knew what to do. He knew when to challenge. And at the end, they were kind of, Deoxys thought he was going to challenge a little bit more after a jump in. Then NubCakes said, I'm going to wait. I'm going to try to hold on to this and wait. The adjustment just wasn't there, and NubCakes came out the victor.
Yep.
I have a lot of faith.
Like winner side top 8, where he's going to be joining Scar. Those are our 2 gentlemen that have made top 8 so far. NubCakes and Scar on the winner's side. We're going to set the others coming up. We've got Rewind versus Theo coming up from pool A3. Theo 3 over Han Rashid, and Young Monster 3-1 over White Boy.
That is upset alert.
Upset alert, but is that matchup discussed a lot? Wonder Woman versus Scarecrow? Because it looks like White Boy came off of Scarecrow, which I've never even seen. And Ominous 3-2 over Blackout. Looks like we're going to have Ominous and Young Monster for top 8 winners. Who would have seen that coming on this side of the bracket? The Blackout doing a good job. Getting 2 games off Ominous there. He's going to go on the loser side of the bracket where he will have to possibly eventually run into White Boy. We still got Patient Impulse down there on the likes of those. That's in pool number 4, guys.
Pool number 4. And anyone wants to follow along at home, you can do by cruise online. You guys can see the bracket as it unfolds. You can see any upset alerts that you might have missed. But, Ominous versus Young Monster. I mean, tell us a little bit about players. Ominous, the roots probably not as deep, in terms of OGs, but, he's been around.
He has been around. He has been around for a long time. He never really left, his local scene until really MKX is where he started making a name for himself. Was a pre-patch Jax player. And then coming in here in Injustice 2, we weren't too sure how, like a lot of guys that came in with MKX, we weren't too sure how they were going to transition into Injustice, and Ominous is one of those guys that has transitioned and transitioned very well.
Yeah.
And ever since his performance at KIT this year, he has just been a name to talk about. I mean, that performance is just it can't be ignored. How he was able to dominate some of the top players in the scene. And he's really made a name for himself, and now he's going to be playing for top 8 of this online event. Coming in with Black Adam, was playing Aquaman pre-patch, and really good stuff there. I'm not too sure if he actually played Injustice 1. That's something I'll have to actually try to ask him about later on.
I feel like he said he has played it, but again, like you said, never.
Now, on the other side, on the other side is someone that I almost know for a fact didn't play Injustice 1. He also came in with MKX, but he came in absolutely swinging. This was Young Monster. Hasn't, even to this day, really hasn't made a name for himself offline. But I think every top player is in his is on his turf in this tournament.
Okay.
Young Monster online has been nothing but success ever since coming in Mortal Kombat X, especially towards the end. I mean, one of the highest execution guys in the scene, with Jackie Bay Briggs. Really make a name for himself, and I'm surprised that ever since day one, he picked Wonder Woman, has stuck with her. He's been a character specialist and character loyalist, even in the toughest of times, and even to this day is getting results. He actually was a winner side top 8 of War of the Gods just last night, and he beat some amazing players in order to get there. Young Monster's not playing around, and right now playing once again for another top 8, and I'm excited. And it looks like that's the matchup we're going to get next here, Arma.
Yeah, we do see Ominous getting ready here in the lobby as we're looking for Young Monster, calling for Young to make it over here. But, shout outs to Ominous, always. And, in my opinion, it has to be one of the entertaining streamers ever. So if you guys love watching Injustice 2, definitely give his Twitch a follow. He just loves entertaining people that come his way. And not only that, he has the skills to kind of showcase what it is to be a top player in this community. Ominous, not really the best of the best, but he's just outside of there. He needs just a few little breakthroughs. And, even though right now it doesn't look great for him in terms of qualifying as a top 12 player for the IPS finals, I think if he has one great showing, it'll be enough to put him over. And I think he can do it. I definitely think he can do it.
Hey, right now, if he wins this event,
A lot of points. Lot of points. If he does it. So this is going to be the winner's side if he does, which means he's guaranteed 5th place. I hope he's listening so it can put more pressure on him. Guaranteed 5th place, which is going to guarantee you 35 points for the IPS finals. And 35 points is a lot. Right now, the guys sitting just outside of top 12 are sitting there tied for 13th by just 10 points.
It could be all points matter. They could make or break you. It's just that simple. That's how it's like in all of these series. And Injustice Pro Series is no different, guys. You got to get those points. We're still waiting on the next match. Waiting on something on the back end, guys. Sorry for that. But yeah, talking about these other 2 matchups on the winner's side. But let's actually see how the losers are developing.
Do we want to see the losers? We're here for the winner, right?
Oh, hey.
Let's call it the lower bracket. The lower bracket.
4 of them are going to make it out, but on Smash GG, it sure is called losers, ain't it? Here we got Titanium Tigers going up against 2 Easy. The winner of that's going to go up against Tony Jawbreaker. Tony Jawbreaker 3-1 over King Gambler. I wanted to bring up Tony Jaw earlier and talk about his also success online. The guy that really hasn't traveled offline, but again, this is kind of his realm. He always did really well back in the Fight Club weeklies, in the War of the Gods, all the online tournaments. I think he also competed in the, the Winter Clash, put on by Warner Brothers NetherRealm.
Yes.
And with a 3-1 win over King Gambler, that is a staple win, and he is in loser semifinals. He's going to face the winner of Titanium Tigers and 2 Easy, and then the winner of that match will go on to face Wakeups in this first pool for top 8 losers. Let me take a look at this next pool.
Yeah, so in I believe this is A2.
Yes.
In the losers, we have Krusty taking her over Raven FGC, the person responsible for knocking Illusions in the losers bracket. Now, freeing up the path for Illusions just a little bit more. Someone he doesn't really need to worry about. And it's hard to kind of break that little mental block that you have to get through somebody that just beat you. Somebody that
Absolutely.
just took you out. And so if Illusions to get through Revet Leafing, which is
I was gonna say
tough to do.
He also is currently playing someone who is no slouch right there in Revet Leafing, with Cheetah, who, as we all know, is utterly broken. Just actually won an IPS major.
The analogy, what can Robin do? She just jumps in and does whatever she wants.
What that may have been the best surprise of the Injustice Pro Series so far, was just Cheetah Grand Finals. And
you know what it was is I think I know Biohazard's been playing with Noble Raptor a lot. He's been playing with Raptor a lot, and Raptor has a great Robin, and they've been going back and forth through strategies. I actually commentated a set between them, a very long set, and you can kind of see where Bane has a little bit trouble, getting in on Robin, forcing Robin to do what he wants to do. Robin has that quick, down 1-2 that leads into a combo, breaks armor, and Robin can even punish Bane's charge on block with just a reversal DP, no problem every single time.
Yep.
So I could see why he did it. He was looking for something. He's like, how am I going to stop Hayate? Like, I have to run into him, and that's what these top players do. They look at everyone who's going to make or break them, from getting into top 8, from being successful in top 8, and saying, like, how do I stop this? I know these are his setups. We have so much online footage. These are his setups. This is what he's going to do. How do I get around? The game doesn't just start when you get to the tournament. You have to prepare.
Exactly, and you said it there, putting in the work, and it's a lot of work, guys. I remember when Dragon put out just some of not only his training regimen, but kind of how he prepares, and he has folders and folders and folders on his computer with nothing but matches, previous matches, different matchups. He has a folder for character versus character, and it's nothing but top level matches lined up on there, and it's absolutely disgusting how much work these guys have to put in to maintain the level of play that they are in. And the winner of Illusions versus Rev, it's going to go on to face Krusty. Winner of that will play Deoxys for top 8 in the second pool.
So it looks like we have a little switch up here in the
We'll change room.
dominant. We got a little change. Instead, we're gonna have rewind. Which pool is rewind in? Cool.
This is actually pool 3 finals right now. This is for top 8. Rewind versus Theo for the winner side of top 8 of pool 3 here. And on the loser side, you've got the guys like Han Rashid, Flappy, and Jay left alive. Down there on the loser side of the bracket, and we'll get into pool 4 after this. As far as how things are progressing, we're gonna move there anyway for the finals. And the pick from Theo is gonna be Dr. Fate and Rewind, breaking out the Beetle that we have been seeing recently. He has been a believer in Blue Beetle, I think, ever since playing and losing to Deoxys on a consistent basis. He says, "Wait a minute, this character's kind of good," and Rewind has always had that mentality. I remember running into a Firestorm, got cooked. He said, I'm playing Firestorm, and he's done that for so many different characters. Catwoman, we've seen Wonder Woman, the likes. He likes to play every character. He likes to have a character-driven situation. Let's see how this matchup's going. It looks like we're gonna have a full-screen zone fest, full-screen footsteps, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get hype.
Let's get hype. You gotta commit to those. You gotta commit to a set amount of recovery, and very dangerous in certain spots. As you can see, Theo trying to get into that perfect little angle, that perfect little space where he can throw his projectile while still being blocked. I was going to say Deoxys, by still being able to block Blue.
And we haven't seen, I don't think, a normal yet Hero Darth Arma. This has just been a battle of the projectiles right now, and Rewind has been putting so much bar, but he comes off it every once in a while for the mid. That's why she's going old school days. Having such a big meter right now, but they're both coming off the bar as they gain it, and Rewind edging out barely. I mean, Blue Beetle does win the damage war outside of the trade. As long as Dark Fate's traded up, and what a backdash on the 4-2 attempt there coming in. Finally, we get some aggression, and no! The moment we could have gotten some aggression on the screen, get off of me! Push blocks away.
No normals are going to connect here. It's projectile war here. And again, pay attention at where Theo's doing, how he's utilizing his momentum. A meter burn projectile. Now, it doesn't get the third one out, but he does get to giving him so much room to move after it trades. And that's really the trades that Theo's looking for.
And Are we going to see a normal connect? Not yet. Whole block and then right back into projectile war here. And it has been in Rewind's favor, getting more hits. I mean, Blue Beetle's projectile has insane, I say insane recovery, but it's insane how fast it recovers.
Yes.
And able to get almost picked up a combo there in the anti-air, what we call frosted Cheerios on the projectiles that are coming out of Blue Beetle. And just slowly chipped it away. And there we go.
A read there by Theo, maybe that he gets to actually inflict damage on a Rewind.
It took
almost time.
it only took 200 seconds, but we finally got one. And what a decision and conversion by Theo to go for what he did in the situation that he went for, just keep things unclashable and try to win this without getting Rewind to wager.
Oh, hits him with the sweep there, going to the other. Theo needs to make something connect. He can't be looking for trades here, and the explosion, the hitbox just goes so fast and so high, quickly right into Theo's attempt to close in the damage to himself and the opponent. What kind of change are we going to see here from Theo? Now, we know he plays Superman. We know he plays Supergirl. I feel like Theo, he's at home.
He has a decent arsenal himself. Does have an Aquaman who does do well against Blue Beetle, mind you.
You really feel like that? I mean, yeah, it could shut down the Cheerios. I feel like I haven't man a whole lot, not only just this season, but last season as well.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he's trying to get somewhere a little bit farther here with Dr. Fate, but you know, I would have liked the Supergirl switch. You know, she's got some projectiles of her own. Don't really build her too much in the meter department, but you know, do inflict a good amount of damage as long as you manage the meter correctly.
And how crazy is that we're seeing Dr. Fate actually have to turn into the aggressor in a match. Like, this is something that I think might be throwing Theo off guard, but you know, he very well could know this matchup and just feels like he's the aggressive, and Fate is one of the few zoners that has a really good aggressive game plan as well. Filling that space and getting the Amon-Ra blasts out, still trying to build that space, and he's slowly building on his deficit. And it's gone. And it's gone and then back to full screen. Very unfortunate that Theo's getting hit with a couple of these projectiles, and in the situation that he is, putting him back to full screen, he has to restart the process all over again of trying to walk Rewind down while not losing your entire health bar forward.
You gotta watch out for that explosion. It is unblockable. And starts on that interactable. Gonna get something going here, but not too much. Rewind just looking for a trick, forcing him to block the overhead Cheerio, and Theo jumps over, goes to
punches and
stops in his tracks.
Pitch up at a high level too, and yeah, it's one of the slower ones that I've witnessed, and I wasn't expecting that coming in a matchup where you have a very high offensively based mix-up character in Blue Beetle, and Dr. Fate, who, as a general, you know, heavy zoner, does have a lot of swag and offensive capability.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. That is what sums up Dr. Fate perfectly here. Kind of like a jack of all trades here, you know. Great, correctly. And Theo off to a much better start in this final round here. I think he found his groove here. Punishes on this one's gone.
I'm still here.
This chaos ends now.
Was that also the first time we saw Meter Burn roll in this matchup as well, where, you know, Theo was just walking and jumping before finally said, you know what, let's actually do the mechanic that NetherRealm Studios gave me against other zoners, which is Meter Burn roll. That is a great lead. Still has a wager. This is gonna be tough for Rewind to make a comeback here.
But a perfect adjustment here by Theo. He just needs to, and there it is. Sweeping him up here and just checking him with his shoulders, and Theo with the equalizer, 1-1 in this race to 3 here. I don't know, man. If you saw that first game, Rewind was in complete control.
Also the first half of game number 2, like it looked like history was just repeating itself. But Theo, hold on a minute, a man of amazing reads, and if you, someone who has patented his play style and his career on patient play, Rewind might be poking at a line in his cage, trying to out-patient Theo right now.
Yeah, it's a little tough to make Theo break that great defensive wall, but you know, he realized that he had to make those he had to understand when he could get under those air projectiles, and that's really what sealed the deal in that last game for him, getting under those projectiles and punishing Blue Beetle before he could recover on the ground.
You saw that input error.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a costly one here.
Back to the zoning game we go. And here we go. Theo finally getting the advantage here, full screen too. And you know, that's all it took for him to immediately gain such a huge health lead in the last game, was that once he got the health lead and Rewind got aggressive, Rewind's the one that got burned. All right, now we go. Okay, now we're actually getting some of the matchup. We're getting some combos, you know, and a little more aggression out of both. That's all I can see. Not that projectiles only isn't hype, because they're literally playing close range with each other, and every projectile's a mind game. But
absolutely, every projectile that an
ooh, and getting him before the EX blast there from Blue Beetle got the hit, and that may have even got there was a few frames for being a draw round, which is possible.
Oh, it hits Theo with the overhead. That's
Good looks too.
looking for some the instant low, but yeah, he definitely was not blocking the overhead. Rewind able to pretty much tie this game up.
Both just walking in and out of certain ranges of normals they can get checked with, or projectiles that they could potentially jump in for a full combo. Spacing at its finest, ladies and gentlemen.
This is definitely spacing at its finest. And here, Rewind utilizing that earned ball to just kind of keep Theo at bay, keep him in check here, and again keeping him checked with that eater burn. Very, very tough to block. It does hit as an overhead if Blue Beetle's in the.
Oh, and you see how he waited just a little bit longer on that projectile and caught the anti-air? Actually caught onto Theo's jump read. Beautiful stuff. Might even be picking up on a little bit of a pattern play there.
Yeah, that's definitely like a little groove that
because that was
you gotta be mindful.
That was the one that Rewind decided to hold for just a couple more seconds and said, you didn't say the magic word.
Just keeping Theo at bay here. Rewind trying to take the lead here. Rewind does have his Clash available, as you can see it there with the shield icon.
All right, here we go in the corner. Reversal shield, not even punishable, and he can just try to chip out from this point on if he blocks anything correctly and just does a couple of reversals. Anything unblocked right now, he's gonna do it. Wait a minute!
You pissed off the Scarab.
You cannot handle its power.
Now Theo cannot take a trade at.
Oh, wait a minute, that's up. Oh my goodness, he tried to forward dash and he was too close. And Theo with a clutch comeback. Are you kidding me right now?
Right there, right in that moment, Theo knows, and it's a static animation. When you tie the Clash every time you tie the Clash, you're always at the same distance. No matter what characters, no matter what stage, you're going to be at the same distance away. And Theo knew that was the perfect distance to throw his projectile with enough time to block Blue Beetle's reversal projectile right out the Clash. So that was super smart there by Theo, or he got extremely lucky in the situation. But I think, I wouldn't put it past Theo to know that exactly, to know that situation. Like, I've been here before, and I know I win this setup. I can throw this out and still duck the cheat.
Yeah, there wasn't anything to fear as long as Rewind didn't have the bar in that situation, because he wasn't forced into a block after throwing the projectile. So really smart stuff by Theo. Look at the back two. The range of that thing finally coming into play. We've been whipped a couple times, blocked, but finally we're seeing it in full force. And that normal is absolutely huge and almost got another one there, but Rewind able to utilize the interactable, and we're back to a zoning war that Theo is already winning in this match.
Well, I mean, you say zoning war, but I feel like a little bit more desperately, and I think this is what Theo wants. This is what he thrives off of.
For sure.
Hang himself, yeah. And Rewind needs to show a little bit more composure here. 3 meter bird ball, and what a cashes in on that other meter he had, flipping him over to the other side, making sure it hurts, and keeping the corner situation in his favor.
That was some big damage there by Blue Beetle. And he has not gotten to the damage yet until now, and it got him back to this, what could be final match. Look at up there, wow. Not even coming down with a jump too, that may have forced a block. Just kind of jump floated. Try to find his way in and ate a couple of blasts, and that's something you never want to do. They add up overtime.
They absolutely, definitely do here. Shooting projectiles over and over.
Okay. And
Yeah,
that was
control.
that was one of the few times where Rewind got into the jump range and went for the instant air aerial projectiles rather than keeping grounded or look for a read on Theo. He just did something a little bit different than he was doing earlier.
Yeah, definitely changing up the game planning. He knows he can't be too passive. Theo, he knows he's got to make those reads and go in, open up Theo. You know, when you sit in a matchup for so long and you don't have to block anything, you pretty much forget how to. And Blue Beetle has a very specific block pattern, very specific ways to get around everything.
I'm almost curious if Theo just did something intentional that would have made me cry. I think he got close
You
enough.
pissed off the scarab.
You cannot handle its power.
Or was that a perfect space where he knew that 2 of the meter burn raw blasts were going to get the hit and he would actually win that trade? And it's crazy how the little games that Theo is playing, oh my goodness, look at this damage, and now he is 1 hit away.
Order shall prevail.
Can't crush this bug.
From clutching a top 8 performance on the winner's side here against Rewind, someone who is no slouch himself, one of the top players in this scene. But does Rewind have a comeback? And he does have the position that he does. Here we go! That's the bar.
It's over.
Oh my goodness, he actually got the damage. I did not believe that Blue Beetle was about to do that much damage, and that is not an easy combo to do. Clutch factor is literally over 9,000 right now for both of these gentlemen, and we're going to a game 5.
We're going to a game. Can I have props for saying it was over? It was done.
I thought that wasn't going to be enough. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I would have thrown my wall on the table and said that ain't killing. Or
if only we could slow it down. No, he had it. This is Rewind here. Execution monster extraordinaire. I mean, don't put it past this guy. This guy can play so many different characters and never drop big opportunities. You know, and that's not an easy thing to do. To not only do you have to be aware of how your character spaces out with your opponent, you have to know the execution. You have to know what converts where. You have to know the corner combos, and Rewind is all over it.
And this has been so close that it's come down to 1 jump between both of them in a lot of these matches. Like, it's only come down to 1 decision.
And it's a lot of decisions to be made. Every projectile is a decision. Every projectile is a commitment and a risk to being opened up for a lot of damage. Making it safe there with the shield, I love it. Not really testing Theo too much and not really trying to cash in and put himself at too much risk.
Losing the air to air there, that's going to be pretty big. And oh no! Let's say getting Theo's aggression started, but no, we're back to full screen here. And you're absolutely right. Him not committing anything past that back 2.
Yeah.
When he does have so many mix-ups off of it, he can go into post stab. He can simply go into back 2-3 and actually cross up behind, which is very hard to block. But he has not been testing Theo. He's been keeping it safe. And hey, right now, as the healthy, keeping it simple might be the effective way right now.
That's definitely it. And you know, he's doing a great job of messing with his trajectory there. Projectile went in for the ballsy slow forward 3 there. Not sure if that was an input error.
Do you think that may have been a missed reversal shield bash?
Possibly could have been a missed reversal there instead of getting back forward 3 and just hung himself in front of Theo, just asked him to punish him.
Rewind is not winning these trades right now. Now we go. Got a couple straight hits, but man, I almost half expected Theo there to just keep swinging. He had the health lead, but that would have just been further and further in his favor. And now Theo, both these guys getting down to the wire, both have wages, both have bar. Are we going to see something crazy like a meter burn dash in? Are we going to see some crazy jumping as we're coming down to it, guys? Game 5. This is 4 top 8. Let's go.
I think Rewind's just trying to wait out this character.
Scarab doesn't like you.
You cannot handle its power.
Now again, are we going to be in that same situation with? Yes, right out the gate.
Oh
but this
my goodness!
didn't have enough health to withstand the trade here. It should have been a tie game here or something. But one projectile was gonna meet the other one. He thought it was gonna be enough, and it just wasn't. Rewind squeaks by Theo in a game 5. Squeaks? Squeaks right by.
Oh my goodness. So the matchup itself seemed to be, projectile versus projectile. Blue Beetle won it slightly in damage, and that's what it came down to at the end, was just more damage, able to get the kill, and Dr. Fate's not doing enough. Wow.
Oh
Could
man,
you-
game 4 and game 5. Could you ask for a closer?
That was too close, guys. That was some good Injustice 2 at its finest. And now
No,
Theo's
love you.
And now Theo's going to go down to the loser side of the bracket where he will face either Jay or a run back with Han Rashid for loser side of top 8. Wow. What a match.
It's going to be a run back, but I don't think this is going to be the last we see of Theo. Again, such a strong player, a strong competitor, California's finest Injustice player out there, along with NubCakes and a lot of other players, representing the SoCal region. And even like dating back as far as the Wednesday night fights locals back in the Injustice 1 days. Man, how many locals did we have in those days? Every day of the week.
So many locals, guys. I missed them.
We all miss them. It's okay. They serve their purpose, and we're off to a lot of great things. We're having a great season here. IPS season 1 was phenomenal. 2 was even better. So many upsets, so many game changers here. As we get closer to our next game, Ominous back in the building. Let's see if we can do this for a second time. Not sure if he played his match offline or just kind of waited in the queue area. Do we have an update on that, Mr. Aquaman?
I honestly was not paying attention to what you were just saying, Armor. What was that?
Wow, thank you. Did Ominous play his game offline, or was he just waiting to get back on?
Waiting.
He was
Yep.
just waiting.
So right now we should be having Ominous versus Young Monster going down.
Young Monster. Let's talk a little bit more about Young Monster. Kind of like an online guy, definitely. But, let's talk about his play style. What are we going to be seeing? Do you see him straying away from Wonder Woman?
Absolutely not. I think I've only seen him come off of Wonder Woman one time, and it was, I think, the Starfire, and it didn't work out. But he really does like to stick with Wonder Woman, even in the worst of matchups that could be on paper. But right now, it's Wonder Woman versus potentially Black Adam. I think Young Monster's going to be perfectly fine here. He's going to be very comfortable, and he's one of those guys that low key, again, doesn't travel a lot offline, but he has such knowledge and execution. And let's see if he's going to implement it here, because it's staggering to watch. I wouldn't be surprised if we see forward ones get blown up in the full combos, the micro things in this matchup. We're just getting a lot of away shields, trying to shut down dive kicks and forward movement from Black Adam as well. But this matchup, I don't know what it is on paper, but we'll see what it's like in here, because matchups, let's just talk about it. Matchups sometimes just don't matter when it comes to two top players.
No, it doesn't, because there could be, something that a top player specific matchup, maybe something they don't know that they're letting their opponent get away with. But could we talk about those Black Adam or how beautiful they look? Let's wait for him to turn them on.
Man, both of these loadouts are gorgeous. Let's just be serious there. These guys have grinded it out in the multiverses. Ooh, a little corpse hop there by Ominous, trying to do some stuff here early on.
Corpse hop, definitely something you don't hear too much in very minimal setup corpse hop situations.
Yeah, they're running around like they were back in MK days. And there we go, him trying to go for the shield to shut down the approach. I think that shield might be shut down in this matchup. Look at the conversion, like I'm talking about. That's a character specialist right there. But shield toss might be taken away on the ground. A reversal black magic being able to punish it.
Now, I notice that right now, Ominous not really cashing in with it. Wait for plus frames in certain situations against it. Tries to go to the other side of the being thrown to the wrong way of Wonder Woman.
My goodness, did he just swing after a blocked EX shield toss? Ominous, a little bit savage right now, but I respect it working out. Young Monster trying to push this man to the corner where Wonder Woman does some grown woman damage. If he can land a hit.
He can land a hit here. The black magic might have been his own. Ominous out of it. Right now, Ominous forcing the clash.
I'll make you say the word.
You won't get the chance.
Clashing early on here, Young Monster needs to get that first bar. Any damage now for Ominous on the second bar of health is just free. And it's going to make this a tougher and tougher comeback as we progress here. And just playing his game is Ominous. He hasn't really been challenged too much. Because if you have a punish for shield toss, it really does take away a lot of Wonder Woman's neutral. Because she really does like to slow the game down. Being able to toss those things and kind of lock you down in certain situations and keep you where she wants you to be. But oh my goodness, Ominous Black Magic's all over the place, getting punishes and anti-airs. I'm really amazed at his ability to use that as an anti-air, even screen as well. Here's a knockdown for Young Monster, bringing out the damage buff. Here we go. On all the shields.
Last part of the combo and meets him right in the air with that down two. One of the best down twos in the business. As we've seen it steal a tiebreaker away from Theo, we see it ominous here, utilizing it to take the first game over Young Monster. Down two, down two, down two. What else can you say? What else could you want in an anti-air?
I'm also very impressed with the combo that Ominous ended that with, which was down two, trade cancel, forward three. That was absolutely, I'd never seen that before. Ominous himself, a guy that once he picks a character, tries to learn every single thing that he can about him. He spends a lot of time in the lab. Ominous does post a lot of tech and a lot of little things that might come in handy to some of you guys that are looking for some knowledge on these characters. And Young Monster breaking out with this classy looking Wonder Woman here.
Yeah, I definitely like it. It's definitely a retro throwback that we used to see as kids. And what a corner conversion here by waiting for her to utilize that interactable, but the Young Monster just doesn't fight. Now Ominous in the corner, is he going to use it? Gets the absolute of truth for his troubles, and that down to such a strong asset here.
Almost got the conversion there, and look at the space control by Young Monster right now. Finally getting this man cornered, and what a read! Gonna commit to a combo there. Would have gotten the first bar of health, but not like this. If he got anything off of that instant jump one, he would have such a commanding health lead, and going for the chip out, that was pretty much guaranteed after the EX shield dash on block.
I think Ominous was expecting the uppercut coming out of Young Monster, but Young Monster went different wake up, one that pretty much guarantees chip, like you said. And here we go, Ominous catching Wonder Woman. Here, so much damage. Ominous, the execution monster. I feel like he purposely dropped it there. We're looking for the wake up and the shimmy here, the neutral.
I won't be your vassal.
Monster, you already see him trying to get aggressive and make approaches with those speed dashes. I think you got a couple of input errors there with the instant jump one. Maybe shield dashes in the air, not too sure. Oh my goodness! Wake up shield dash, meeting Ominous's approach right there. And Ominous can sit back and let Young Monster do anything, but if he gets close enough to that shield action, gets flushed frames, but anything's going to get Black Magicable full screen. That's not even a word. Just made up on the spot, and another...
It's a word. It's a word now. Black Magicable.
Her tiny hitbox looks like it could be kind of confusing for Ominous too. I think that corpse top earlier may not have been intentional now that I think about it. It's just chip out territory, trying to get a 2-0 lead and one game away from the winning side of top 8 for this man.
Black Adam wins.
Complete dominance here. Young Monster needs to change it up. Not sure if he needs to stray away from Wonder Woman, but possibly trying to stray away from, the general technique of, slowing down the pace, throwing those shield bashes with no meter. The shield toss, the air shield toss, definitely still a good thing to use against Black Adam if you have meter to make it safe, but not something you want to throw, like you said before, to get Black Magicked. Black Magicked?
Black Magic.
Black Magicked. Black Magicable shield toss.
Black Magicable shield toss. That's right, folks.
That's
you guys heard it here. It's been patented. It's been proven.
So, right? It is a thing. We're seeing it right now. If it was, would Ominous be up 2-0? No.
Man, Young Monster's here in some deep thought, I think, right now.
He is. He's contemplating.
He's sitting here.
Life.
He just.
How did I get here?
How did I get here? What do I do to get out of this hole? Is there another character? Is there a secret character? Is Wonder Woman all that this man's got? And it looks like it. I love Young Monster's stubbornness because I have seen it pay off, where he's made these monumental comebacks. And I've seen him win very hard matchups because of how stubborn he is and the skill that he possesses.
Do you think Young Monster is just trying to figure out which one of his loadouts he did? Which one did I not play at? Oh, this one. Okay. Let's show him this.
Begin.
One. He's got some great loadouts here.
But Black Adam in the last update got some amazing gear.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Some amazing legendaries added. And let's be serious, the hood and the cape are just Gorgeous. And Wonder Woman 2, I love that helmet. That does have the little Hermes wings added to it, and what a whiff to get punished there by the delayed wake up of Ominous. Into the corner we go, and what's going to be for breakfast on this knockdown? Patience! And it doesn't pay off! And Young Monster gets the anti-air. Our knockdown here, and outspacing the Wake Up Lightning Cage. That works for no man except for Dragon.
Here we go. Here is the Young Monster we were looking
Your technique
in
is
the
flawed.
driver's seat against us, waiting and looking to turn this around. Can he make this reverse 3-0 comeback?
Oh my goodness! It did a downward with an instant jump one shield toss. So I think that's what we saw him drop earlier, Arma, when he got the air-to-air. Was the shield toss not coming out, and he didn't get a combo. Whereas there, it looked like it was a setup and calculation.
Perfect there. Definitely a great way to pass on damage. Utilize the corner. Corners in fighting games are so great to control spacing and footsies. But here we go. Ominous in the driver's seat now. Has Young Monster up against the wall, up against the corner.
That's okay. He's actually taking less damage right now. He's going
I'll
to wait
make
to
you
look how much
say the
health.
word.
Or sorry,
You won't get the chance.
look how much
Potential
meter he has.
That's potential health decides.
So now look at it. Him only spending the 1 bar, and now Ominous coming off his resources. Ominous can't even like safely wager now. He's gonna lose health regardless. Hit. If he gets hit, no matter what.
But that's definitely a good move there by Young. Definitely respect that, you know, basically being the aggressor in this situation. Looking for him to get hit by the delayed wake up as Ominous.
Oh my goodness! And he actually hit him at the start of the orb, but he didn't get hit himself because I think Wonder Woman may have full profiled even if it would have become active. And there's the stubbornness and the skill of Young Monster coming into play as with Wonder Woman gets back on the board. That both of them almost threw that away a couple of times. That actually got into a disgusting scramble situation, and Young Monster's going to extend this match for winner's side top 8.
That was a super scramble indeed.
Wonder Woman.
I can't believe he got past it. It's so hard to make the. And you're up against a character like Black Adam with a character
Fighters
power
approaching Gotham
that is
City.
pretty much guaranteed damage as long as it's active and near you. Those orbs are unblockable. And, you know, Young Monster kept his cool, made the read. It looked like Ominous might have been looking for the overhead there at the end. Instead, Young Monster giving him that sweep, that great low profiling down three. But Ominous out the gate, ready to go like a cheetah. Going in with that jump.
Met him with some meaty EX Palpatines too on that wake up shield bash. And we talked about last game how Ominous with the delayed wake up actually it got him back in the match twice. The delayed wake up into the punish. So
definitely want to see the adjustment here by Young.
Yeah, he might have to wait on some of these OT setups. Utilizing the negative frames to build the space. Even if it didn't punish, he rebuilt the space. And Ominous is just all over the place. And after a couple of dive kicks, conditioned Young in the blocking high and not watching your toes stuff in against the EX low light.
Palpatine there, the sweep to get under that. The Black Adam kill neutral footsie to it.
Keep safe. There's Ominous. Ooh, that Super Wonder Woman. Very, very good at low profile. Even counter such a strong normal and doesn't have the space. Well, Wonder Woman at times does feel like she kind of has those T-Rex arms. And that's a meaty setup and the chip out. Beautifully set up there by Young Monster. That's just patented Wonder Woman gameplay right there.
Oh, no punish share by the Black Magic. Right now, Young Monster being the aggressor, looking for some kind of meter breakthrough in the gap.
There it is!
Feel Conduct's wrath.
Time to end this.
There's the adjustment right there by Young Monster. He sat there and waited a millennia while Ominous was on the ground trying to press life alert. And he actually got him after the late wake up and opened this man up.
Ready to lose your head?
Aton, give me strength.
Can we talk about how that clash, the first one from Ominous, you know, possibly could have utilized that second anywhere else instead of getting done.
Yep, and now, here we go. This could be a change in momentum as Young Monster was pretty close to tying us back up. And I don't know if he's intentionally dropping that ender or not, but he's done it multiple times in this set. And now Ominous is just putting these nails in the coffin for Young Monster and almost got a punish on the air escape, and he overcommitted and did not get punished for it as we come back to haunt Young Monster. And that's gonna do it.
Not too many moves in this game can
Black Adam wins.
perfectly here.
What that sets up in top 8, guys, the winner set of top 8 has been set. 3 Texas boys going up against Theo, the lone Californian. You've got Scar, Deoxys, and Ominous going in the winner side of top 8, representing the good old state of Texas, and Theo representing SoCal. I just thought that I'd point that out.
It is a good thing to note here. Those are very strong. Again, you can play a lot online, but you really do learn a tremendous amount of information when it comes to just any fighting game. You learn so much offline, being able to gather around with other people, gather around with other minds, and really that's really when you throw those ideas out, sit in training room with somebody, try doing this while I do this. Let me know what you think about this setup. But Theo, a veteran, coming back all the way, even has dabbling a little bit in the MK9 days.
Yeah.
Not too strong there, but he was playing. But really, Theo making that breakthrough during Injustice 1, being one of the best Superman players out there, definitely the best Aquaman player out there during the entire 2 years that Injustice 1 was active. Theo taking a little bit of a backseat later when MKX came out. Maybe not his cup of tea, but came out with such force in Injustice 2.
One of the best storylines when Injustice 2 came out and the very first competition started was the return of Theo and, the new versus the old school, Theo going up against Sonic Fox very early on and vice versa. And those two actually had a rivalry. They actually went back and forth. Sonic Fox won a few, Theo winning a few. And that was a big rivalry going on early on. And I thought that breathed just complete new life into the competitive scene of NRS. Was, old guard versus the new guard. And now we're seeing just a melting pot of players that have been around, for years, going back to MK9, Injustice 1, MKX, and now Injustice 2.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. That's fighting games are in general just a collection of so many different people.
My bad. Theo was not the one to make it into.
You're right.
My bad.
He lost.
My bad, guys.
We were so sure that he won.
All right.
Because it looked like it was going to be him. So are you saying he lost in losers, or are you talking about rewind?
No, on winners. Do you honestly want to know why?
Why?
I said that was because it was Blue Beetle. My bad, guys. I thought it was Deoxys. My bad. I got Blue Beetle players mixed up. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. We all do. But it
is actually only 2 Texas boys on the winner side of top 8. Deoxys fell 0-3 to NubCakes, who is representing California, and Rewind is Vegas.
Rewind, I believe, is Vegas, if I remember right.
So we're a little more spread out on the West Coast. Wait, if you guys are looking, it's over here.
It's okay.
Over here on the West Coast. But yeah, wow. Okay, so we're a little bit more diverse. But Deoxys, we'll see if he can make it on the loser side of the bracket. It's Deoxys versus Illusions on the loser side of top 8. In order to make the loser side of top 8. Wow. But guys, that looks like that is going to be it for now. We're going to return in give or take about 20 minutes. We're going to let top 8 set, and we're going to try to fix a couple of things here, and we're going to return with top 8 at roughly about 3:45 Pacific Standard Time, give or take. And Arma, do you have any closing thoughts on what's actually happened so far in this bracket to get us to where we are?
I mean, this is absolutely madness. So many dominant performances. I feel like we've kind of had both of them, a lot of sets, 3-0s one way that we might have not thought, and just nail biters to the end. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you check out this top 8 because it's going to be a great one.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for watching so far. We'll be right back with top 8 action here of the Injustice Pro Series Online West event.